Hey everyone, welcome back to the series Cloud Confident, or if you're new here, my name's Kane Mullings and I'm part of the Azure Business Development team here at Ingram Micro. If you're working with Azure, then you need to know where your money's going. It's as simple as that, and that's exactly what we'll cover off in this video. Today, we'll walk through Azure Cost Management and Billing, what it is, why it's important, and how you can use it to stay in control of your cloud spending. Now, Azure Cost Management and Billing is a built-in set of tools, and it helps you do three things: track, analyze, and optimize your Azure spending. It's especially useful if you're on a budget, managing multiple subscriptions, or if you just want to avoid that end of the month surprise bill. With cost management, you can see where your money's going, you can set budgets and get alerts from the portal, and get recommendations to reduce costs as well. Now, we all know that cloud costs can spiral really quickly, especially if you're not monitoring your usage. A few extra virtual machines, some forgotten storage, or using premium services without realising it, and boom, you're over budget just like that. That's where Azure Cost Management steps in and helps you avoid that by giving you real-time insights and control into where your money's going in Azure. So on that note, let's head straight over to the Azure portal for a really quick demonstration, and we'll show you how you can get using Azure Cost Management and Billing to track your spending in Azure today. So as you can see here, we're in the Azure portal. To get here, you're going to go to portal.azure.com in a web browser. And if you've never logged into Azure before, I'd recommend checking out my first video where we run through getting started with Azure, and we cover off some of the basics in the portal and getting started with the Azure portal as well. So over here at the bottom of the left-hand blade, you can see that we've got Cost Management and Billing. So if we go into Cost Management and Billing, and then we're going to select Cost Management, and then we're going to select Cost Analysis here on the left. And then what we'll do is we'll go into accumulated costs. So we're going to look at all the costs that have accumulated so far for this subscription. So here we're looking at the cost analysis blade, and by default the view shows you your actual costs, and that's actual costs across a selected time range. So you can see here that we've got June selected. It's typically on the current month, and you can see an area chart showing the spend for that current month. And then it uses machine learning to give you a forecasted costs for if you was to carry on spending how you have been doing since the start of the time period that you've got selected. Then machine learning says that this is what's forecasted to be spent by the end of the month. Just below the chart, we've got a breakdown on some different options. So we've got service name, gives you a breakdown by service name. We've got one by location and one by resource group name as well. So we've got some options there before we've even done anything. So let's start by changing the time range. So you can click on the filter here at the top, and you can select from predefined ranges like last 7 days, month to date. You can select last billing period, last quarter. It's really granular with what you can select in here. So let's say we select, we'll go last 3 months. So we'll go last 3 months. And this is really useful for spotting cost trends over time, or anomalies or sudden spikes, or even gradual increases in costs. So this is where you can do that, selecting it by the months. So we'll go back to set it to this month, so it's just as June. So next we'll use the filters here on the right. So we see we've got some filters here, and we've got group by, and at the minute we've not got it grouped by anything. So it's just showing us for the scope of what we've got scoped, which is just for this one subscription, we've got it grouped by nothing. So it's just showing us all costs for the subscription at the minute, all in one. So in the group by option, you can select some options like resource group, service name, we've got location, and a few different options there where you can filter it down to. So say for example, we was to change it to service name. So let's find that. Service name. You can see here it gives you a breakdown of the different services and the costs associated to those services as well, and the same with the forecasted costs for going forward. And grouping by service name as well helps identify which Azure services are consuming the most budget, like virtual machines or storage or whatever it may be. You can change the chart type, so if you're not liking the way that this chart looks and you don't like the area chart, you can change that here as well. So you can change it to a line chart if you prefer it like that. Change it to column stacked and be really granular with how you want it to show up. You can also change the granularity here. So at the minute we've got it accumulated. So you can change the granularity to either daily, monthly or accumulated. So if you change it to daily, Again, it shows you the daily breakdown, and we've got it column stacked and by service name, so it's showing us daily in columns and by service. You can also apply filters here at the top, so you can see we've got an option to add a filter. You can apply filters to narrow down the view even more. So for instance, you can filter by specific subscriptions, you can filter by specific resources. So you filter by resources again, and then you can pick which resources that you want it to show. So it'll show you all the resources that you've got available, and that's another way that you can just be really granular with the breakdown that it's giving you in cost analysis. This is also really good when you want to isolate the costs for a particular environment, like you might have a dev test environment or staging environment, production, whatever it may be. This is just another good way for you to break it down and again be really granular with what you're searching for in cost analysis. So just to summarise this page quickly, Azure Cost Analysis provides flexible tools to explore your spending in Azure, identify trends with what you're spending, and really drill down into detailed usage, helping you manage costs proactively and efficiently in Azure as well. So now that we've done that, let's show you how you can set up a budget to keep things under control even more. So here on the left under cost analysis, you can see we've got a monitoring option, and then we've got a few different options under here. So we've got cost alerts, cost rules, and budgets. So if we go into budgets, I'll show you how really quick it can be to set up a budget. So if we go at the top here, if we go add and add a budget, so we've got a scope in here. So it's scoping for the development subscription, and we'll give it a name. So we'll put it as test. And it's just got some auto-populated information. So the creation date, the expiration date, and the budget amount. So let's say, for example, we set a budget of £150. It gives us an idea here on the right. So you can see for June that we're almost exceeding that budget already. So then what we're going to set is what's going to happen if we reach that budget. So if we go next, then we've got the alert conditions here. So first one, we're going to put actual. So it's looking at the actual cost, not the forecasted cost, and then a percentage of the budget. So let's say, for example, if we reach 100% of the budget, which is £150, then what's going to happen? And by default, it's going to send an email to a recipient in the tenant. So if we put my email in there, ingramicro.com, then if we exceed 100% of the budget, then an email will be sent to me, basically just saying that you've exceeded the budget. You can also set an action group here at the top, which is essentially some actions. So you can create an action group to, let's say, auto shut down the virtual machine. So if you had a VM running and you exceeded the budget on the VM, then you can set an action group to auto shut down the machine, and different tasks that you can do as well to rectify the budget type of thing. So if we go create, validate, and then just as simple as that, you've got a budget in place, which is helping you track your costs. And then if you go back into cost analysis, you'll be able to see your budget there. And if you exceed it, so let's go back into cost analysis, accumulate costs. So now we can see here, we've got a budget and we've got the red line showing us that what's going to happen. So if the machine learning is saying that from the spend that we've been spending throughout the month, if we carry on how we have been doing, then we'll reach the budget by the 25th, between the 25th and the 27th of June. So you can see that there. Anything in red is the overage, and that's the budget in place. Azure also gives you tips on how to save money as well, which is really good. So if you can see here on the left, we've got advisor recommendations. So you can go in there and go into the recommendations, and it'll just give you some more breakdowns of how you can save costs. And you can see here that we're following all the recommendations, so it's not actually showing anything, but it'll give you some recommendations in here. So it might be to apply a reserved instance, it might be to resize one of your virtual machines, but it's just a good place to check to help monitor costs in Azure and just make sure that things aren't spiraling in the portal as well. All right. That pretty much wraps up our look into Azure Cost Management and billing. Not the flashiest topic in the world, but hey, saving money is always cool, right? Next up, we're going to be getting our hands dirty, and we're going to be spinning up a virtual machine in the Azure portal, and I'll show you how easy it is to get that up and running, and it's way more exciting, I promise. So if you're ready to start building, hit the like button, smash subscribe, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. If you've got any questions or any queries, or if you've got any ideas for any future videos going forward, feel free to drop those in the comments. Catch you in the next one, guys, and until then, stay curious and keep building in the cloud.